Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
How is everybody on this terrific trusting God Tuesday? I don't know about you, but I am trusting God in this moment, in this second, in this hour. So we are super excited to see everybody back on this morning. Good morning. Great day to have a great day.
Yes.
That's all I'm going to say. It's a great day to have a great day. So we welcome Patricia. We see you. Good morning, ladies. Great start of the day.
Yes.
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 Yes. So today is a special day, and special because it's just special. We don't have to. Why? Because it's special. It's
Just because
another
it's another
day.
day to have your eyes open and be above the ground, baby. Any day like that is a great day. But let
Yes.
me say this. Good morning, Cynthia and Miss Phyllis and Miss Patricia. Let me say this. We were off yesterday, so y'all got a good replay. But let me tell y'all about this weekend. We had the absolute
Yes.
best time
We
with some
did.
amazing people who showed up to love us like we love them. So I'm telling y'all, this weekend was absolutely phenomenal for the Empowered Mornings
Yes.
Spring Social. And it was. We got social, we got out and about, we got to laugh and cut up, we shed a few tears. But you know what? It was happy tears. It
Yes.
was good cleansing tears. And it just made our bond all the more stronger. And we were just so glad to see you all. Cynthia said, honey, every day is a great day. Yes. So
Exactly.
ring the bell, Sparkle. Ring the bell.
You,
Yes.
yes.
Ring the
Yeah.
bell.
Yes. It's when you gotta take it as your bell has been rung. I have survived, so let me ring my own bell. We don't wait on somebody else to ring it for us. We'll get over that. No, give me my bell so I can go out and ring my bell for myself because I want today to be a proud of you day. I'm proud of my progress. I see me. I see it's still some work to be done. But hey, I'm not where I was yesterday because today is a new day. Since today is a new day, it's a new beginning, new creations, new blessings on top of blessings. Amos 9, 13 through 15. Before I can say thank you for one, here come another one. Head swimming blessings over and over and over and over and over. It's only 8,810 of them. So why not? Why not overflow in them? Not float through them. Why not? Have a great. But today, Angela, do we have a special guest today?
Baby, today we about to get on it because I'm gonna tell y'all that last month was, of course, in Women's History Month, and so we had a lot of women come on um, to share with us, about who they are and what they do and the impact and influence they're making. And so, as a result of that, Dr. Carolyn Stevens had introduced us to, some authors, part of the Distinguished Authors Guild. And in the midst of that, we started seeing, people show up in the comments and people who support them, also being a part of that. And so one of those ladies that was in our comments that was helping us be empowered, that was giving us these great motivational moments was Rachel L. Gary. And I'm so excited that she saw fit to get up early in the morning to come and be here with us. Because y'all know, baby, listen, you might stay 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 6 o'clock. You remember, oh, girl, I've been up.
Honey,
But it's one thing to be up and be dressed and be on camera and get to talking, right? And the fact that she said it and she's doing it, that's it. What you
but
gonna say,
I want to
Regina?
give her an introduction before we give her on, since somebody said ring the bell. Well, honey, we gonna ring the bell this morning.
Ring the bell. Come on, it has been a long time.
You can ring my bell. Yes.
Ring the bell. Come on.
Come on now, we got it this
Yeah,
morning.
bring on in. See this morning, Miss
Ring my
Rachel.
bell.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Now, I
Good
love
morning.
that. Get that energy flowing
Get
early.
that
Love that,
energy
lady.
flowing early. Listen, let me go ahead and just give y'all a little bit because Rachel is highly accomplished. She is a leadership coach. She's a mentor. She is an author. She's an inspirational speaker. She's a podcaster and a radio personality. She is out in these streets, baby, helping people get themselves together, CEO style. So I'm not going to tell too much about that, Rachel. I'm going to let you get dive into it. But we welcome you to the Empowered Morning Show.
And I am very blessed to be here. Thank you, ladies, for allowing me to have the opportunity to share with your audience today. I watch you guys often, and that 6 o'clock in the morning, I want to tell you, I'm a 4 o'clock a.m. person, so I'm usually up that time, and to have this empowerment and this amount of energy at 6 a.m. to start that day is awesome, magnificent. I
Yes.
appreciate you guys. I celebrate you guys for getting up early in the morning and giving us those opportunities to get that empowerment early in our day so we can continue our day on with those pieces of those nuggets you guys drop. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
that. And you know what? I think I'm glad you said that because getting up in the morning and getting stuff. You know how sometimes people may grab some people may grab a bottle of water or some people may grab, a cup of coffee, but it's to help them, kind of get the sluggishness out so they can move forward. Well, that's what this is about. We
Hmm.
want to put something in the atmosphere where you plug into the energy source, whatever that is, you plug
Yes.
into it, but we help to take the current and take it on throughout the day. And so we love being here
Absolutely.
in the morning and having guests like you who can come in and impart
Exactly.
wisdom and drop nuggets and give insight and be influential. That's what helps to make this even more impactful. So, Rachel, even though I told them some of the things that you have accomplished, can you give us a little bit more about who Rachel L. Gary is?
Absolutely. So everybody, as you said, my name is Rachel L. Gary, and I am a leadership coach. And what I'm a leader of, if you guys can see, I am the CEO of my life. And what a CEO means is being clear in your actions, empowered by your choices, and owning your direction. And all I really do is remind you of who you really want to be and provide different avenues in which you can be able to move through your fear to your passion and to where you want to be in your CEO life.
Amen. I
Hmm.
That's
love it.
good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good and powerful because you know what? Sometimes, Rachel, it seems like people have so many ideas, have so many things that, they see other people doing and they like it. And then when it comes to them become the CEO of their life, them stepping into their passion, it's like they kind of get stuck or
Uh,
they get let fear stand in the way. What would you say to
Absolutely.
somebody who is in that space where they know God has called them to be more? They know they have so many gifts and talents and skills inside of them, but they just don't know how to release that. What would you tell them?
As I tell people when they're in my course, start off with understanding what it is you truly want.
mhm.
And just as you said, Angela, the biggest thing is that we're watching life through the lens of someone else's. And I want to say this: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok life, which is not really a full picture of a reality. It's only a
No.
glimpse. It's a moment. So it's you really looking inside of you and determining what is it that you really want. And then starting with the end in mind. So start from what it is you want and start reverse engineering that so you can get to where you want to be. And being afraid is a part of life, but with fear comes courage. And the courage to move past, around, and over obstacles is what I provide in my course. Those things like getting more aligned with your self awareness, understanding what true self care is, having that self discipline, and last but not least, taking that opportunity to build the self esteem that is going to be needed. Because I don't care how strong we are or how strong we believe we are, building yourself up so when those obstacles hit you, you're able to take those obstacles as an opportunity to go around.
Um, Rachel, I'm glad that was a lot of nuggets in one little
And one thing was,
in one little thing. But I would like for you to go back to the figuring out what you want and the reverse. Like, can you dig into that a little bit more for the people?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'll say this: how I start any of my mentees off is we go why. A lot of people say, hey, I want more money, but why?
Okay. The why.
Because I want more for my kids, but why? And ultimately, once we get to about 4 or 5 whys, we dig and unpack those things. We really realize that what people really want is freedom to do what they want to do when they want to do it. But understanding what that looks like. Like a lot of people, we work and say when we retire, we're going to do. How many times have you guys heard it and seen it around? When I
right,
retire, I'm going to do A, B, and C.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't set ourselves up for how do we retire. Just to dig a little bit into I'll tell you what, I have no problem telling my age because I have to explain the why. I'm 49. I just turned 49 in March. My biggest why was for my 50th birthday. I wanted to be able to travel the world with no regrets and no worries about what's going on in financially in my life.
That's deep.
That is my end why.
okay,
Everything from that I reverse engineer. So the biggest thing for me right now, as I said, and over your lifetime, that will change. Because as you gain more information, you'll notice that the why that you wanted was really something that was imposed on you, something that you saw, something that your friends wanted. And as you grow, you realize you start really seeing when your kids start getting older. I'm an empty nester as well. My youngest child is 27. And in the beginning, my why was just to be someone my children were proud of. That was my original why. So everything I was doing, the way I carried myself, the way I showed up, the way I had conversations, the way I built my career was all to make sure that they had a role model and I was an example for what they saw success to look like,
Okay.
sound like, and be like.
That's powerful. Can I say something on that? That's powerful
Please.
because that is like the beginning, especially if you have children. That should be your why. But let me tell you know, and that's amazing because that still is my why. Until God takes me home, I will stand and show greatness before them because what better role model than their own parent?
Absolutely.
If you have breath in your body and you're capable, and that's another thing, being free, being knowing that you know what you want to go after, what your purpose is what your purpose is you know what you're saying, everything that's going on in your life, you're living the freedom of who you are and still be able to financially take care of yourself. That's a blessing. A lot of
Yeah.
people don't get to do that. That's the freedom in it. I can relate because I'm that way. I'm self-employed. You know what I'm saying? I have the freedom to make my schedule. I have the freedom to, you know, take a vacation if I want, and I can work 24 hours a day if I choose to. But it's the freedom to make that decision and say, hey, I believe in myself. I like what you're doing.
Oh, thank you. But I think this when I my why, as you said, Regina, is the exact same. Still, my why is every day to show up for them at 27 and 28 and still be that example. My
Right.
son told me something yesterday, and I know we got brief time, but I just want to share this one story. My son is, I will say this, he's not a motivated person. Considering I do inspiration all the time. My
Mm-hmm.
son is just not a motivated individual. He's very happy in being comfortable. He's comfortable in his life, and he does the bare minimum. Yesterday was the first time, he's 28, first time in his entire life that what he said to me, because he was listening back to my conversation at one of my speaking engagements over the weekend in Atlanta, and he said that inspired me.
See?
And that was a whole moment because I talk all the time. They've been hearing me talk for 28 and 27 years. So this is not a new conversation. I tell people, what people are hearing right now, I've been this way my whole life.
Right.
I've always wanted to help another individual find
Yeah.
success in their genius, in their life, not in my version of their life, in their version of their life.
Yeah.
I tell you, I just supply tools that will get those roadblocks and those things that cause fear out of your way. You do all the work.
Mm-hmm.
I tell people I didn't help anybody. All I did was remind an individual how to show up for themselves.
That's
Mm-hmm.
it. You were just a facilitator to help them.
Exactly, exactly. I tell you, I'm not saving anybody, and that's why I tell people I'm not motivational. I'm inspirational, and because
And there's a
inspiration
difference.
is external, motivation is internal. So
That's
I'm
it.
just inspiring and hoping that one of the things that I say resonates with you enough for you to get off the couch, out the bed, off the laptop, or whatever is holding you back and say, yes, I'm willing today. Yes, I'm ready to do what is important today.
Yep.
Yes, I'm ready to move forward today. Because all it takes is one small step towards you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
One
powerful.
step towards you.
Wonderful.
What I want to go back to also, Rachel, is that as you were giving us the setup for being about yourself and going for your goals and living out your dreams and your passions, you kept saying the word self,
Mm-hmm.
self-confidence, self-awareness, all of
Love.
the things, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, no matter how much, like you said, you're inspirational, but the motivation has to come from within. It has to come from
Absolutely.
you. Is self-driven. People
Isn't
are
it?
so,
Absolutely.
they're always looking for an external reason to do
Okay.
something. They're always looking
Yeah.
for somebody to, you know, and when you start looking at people who get into maybe alcoholism, or when you get into something, or drugs, or whatever, or some type of addictions, it's all because you don't take control of self. You allow the
Absolutely.
extra things to bring you,
Yep.
to cause you, or what have you. But I think it's so powerful for people to understand that nobody's coming to rescue you. You got to rescue self. You got to be enough about
Nobody.
you to say yes. You waiting for the white horse to come. You waiting for
No,
something to
heck
drop
no.
out the sky. You're waiting. And at the end of the day, you have to be consistently moving forward so that you can catch whatever it is that's going to spark you to know that it's time for me to be about myself, whatever
Yes.
That's it.
Absolutely.
it is. Even with your son growing up and hearing all of that,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to get it. It's not everybody has an appointed time to get what they're going to get.
Yep.
What
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
it.
going to be, especially as parents, you want them to get it early. You know, it's like,
Yep. You
don't
want to
wait
get it
until
right now.
the 50s to get it. I need you to get it right now. I don't want you to wait like me and get it later.
Ain't
I
that the
need you to
truth?
get it
Exactly.
now. But
Exactly.
the
Man, when
reality
you
of
said it
life
like that,
is
how much
people
more
are going
heartache
to
can I
get it at
have?
the appointed time. Yes, but we just want you to speed things up and get it now. Pay a little bit more attention now. But I love that you said this has been who you are the entire time. All my life, I've been doing this. And that's such a powerful testament. But it also is for some people to go back and say, you know what? Rachel has been pouring out. She's been pouring out. She's been pouring out. And every time I hear it, I like it, but I'm not implementing it. Stop
Absolutely.
today. Listen again. Y'all know how sometimes I tell you go back and listen to the sermon again because you're
Yes.
gonna catch something
Hit the
different
replay. That
Right.
replay do something for you.
to
That
do
It
something.
replay
does. It
change
does.
your life.
It will.
It
I mean,
does.
because you get a different understanding, and what
Mhm.
people don't realize, we're all in different places at different time in life.
Yes, ma'am.
Yo, you might be focusing. Somebody might be focusing on a relationship. That's not my focus right now. My
No.
focus is how can I get Sparkle to where I'm proud of where Sparkle is. Somebody else might be, let me go on this app and let me do this, let me get this, let me get that. But everybody has their time in life. And then they remember, like your son said, you have sold and you sold and you sold, and you've been taking him to speaking engagements with you. He's been traveling with you. But that day, he was like, I get it. It's like a
Yeah,
light bulb just go
I
on.
get
And
it.
when that
yeah.
light bulb go
Sparkle
on,
was
you're like,
emotional.
Right.
wait a minute. Let me get up off this couch. Let me lose this weight. Let me get myself in my finances
Right.
together. Let me
Yeah.
get my hygiene, my body together. You know,
Everything together,
it's
baby.
and then they like, y'all been letting me walk around like this all my life. No, you been letting
Absolutely,
Right.
absolutely.
Right. Yeah,
no,
and that's
you
so
been letting
inspiring.
yourself walk
You've been
around
letting
like
you
this
walk
all
around
my
that
life.
way.
Right.
Absolutely, Sparkle.
You
Cause we'll
know
come
that.
back to the people like they and they was like, girl, you know I talked to you about that a million and trillion times, and you never
But
wanted to hear me.
yeah, but it goes, Dr. Foster, just how you just said. The biggest thing is the epiphany comes, and once again, you'll hear the inspiration from everywhere. You'll hear it all the time. Like this show, when I listen to the show, I'm empowered. But that's also because I'm open to being empowered. You
Open.
have
You
to
got
be
the door
You
open,
have to
open.
want it
That's
for
right?
yourself.
You have to be open because I'll say this for instance. I tell people, well, before they get in my course, they take a whole assessment. I tell people, my course is $97 a month, and it's self paced. We have weekly group mentorships, and then we have one monthly one on one where we talk about your specific goal and move forward through it. What I tell people is that I'm not for everyone because I am going to hold you accountable. If you're looking for someone to hold your hand in the way of saying it's okay to give up on you, I'm not that one. If you're saying
Exactly.
that, if you're looking for someone who is going to allow you not to be consistent, I'm not that person. If you're not ready for, as I tell people, I don't drink or smoke. I tell people I am the drink. I am a straight no chaser drink, which means that when I'm going to be honest, there's gonna be empowerment in it, but I'm not going to say it's okay to give up on where
Right.
you want to be. I'm not going to say it's okay for you not to do that self reflection and
Yeah.
that self development homework. Because if
Right.
you don't do the self development homework, you're going to fail constantly. As
Yep.
opposed to failing and learning, you're going to
Mhm.
fail and be afraid. Fail, be upset that you fail. You're going to allow that to stop you as opposed to allowing it to be a lesson. I tell people I'm only doing two things in life. I'm winning and learning. Everything I'm doing, I'm winning or I'm learning. I'm
That's it.
winning or I'm learning. Because
Learning. That's it.
if
In
you
that
take,
order.
yes, exactly. Because if you take things as they come to you like, oh my God, that happened.
Okay.
Now I have to stop and reconfigure. Sometimes that obstacle that was in your way, there was a lesson to learn from that
Yeah,
obstacle.
and keep it
If you
moving.
and you and you have to be open to that. That's why I tell people I have a coach myself. I tell people if your coach doesn't have a coach, you got the wrong coach. Because
Oh,
somebody has to be. Because I only
Hello.
can tell you as much as I know. If I
yeah.
don't know anything more, I'm not pouring enough into myself to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
And,
this is
and
good.
it's all about self growth. One more time, as you were saying, Angela, self. Why is my whole course about self? Now, I'm a leadership coach who wants you to reach your goals. People say, well, where's the goal part? It takes you 6 months before you get to the goal. Because if you didn't get over the things that limited you from your life, love, I'm a parent, and you guys have had parents. Sometimes the things that our parents taught us to 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 protect us are
Yeah.
stopping us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. Because
that is true.
but the thing that we have to understand, our mothers didn't know. They didn't know that
Exactly.
they didn't. We give all that we can give. It's some things that we gonna miss. We just not purposely did my mama not teach me financially. She was going financially through it herself. So
Right.
she couldn't
Absolutely.
teach you what she did not have. And then people are quick to be like, because my mama, because my daddy, they didn't ever do this. No, shut it down, shut
You
it
have a
Yeah.
down.
choice.
That's just another
The
excuse.
choice is yours.
Yes,
The
Yeah, you
choice
have
is
a
that's
The
yours.
choice
another
is
choice.
yours.
excuse. that you're using, and now you have used it, you have put the excuse as a foundation. That excuse, well, my mother
Mhm.
did teach me. So there go your foundation. So
Right.
now you
That's
can't do nothing
crack.
different because you're still landing on that same foundation.
Yes, ma'am.
But it's up to you to
Absolutely.
say enough is enough. You know, when you
Right.
get
Mm-hmm.
sick and tired of being sick and tired of being broke, when you get sick and tired of every time you do something, it don't come through. You
Exactly.
gotta get sick and tired of it. And when you get sick and tired of it, you say, okay, enough is enough. Now what we gonna do? Now you're ready to knock on the door because you're saying, I'm knocking on this door because
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready to do the work. If you
You're
still
right.
content with
Amen.
not doing it, you're gonna stay there.
Right. And I totally, Sparkle, I totally agree with that. I have a mentee that this mentee, we've been working together for a year. And until recently, it finally hit them, all of the things that we were talking about.
Mm.
I gave the mentee their money back twice because he wasn't showing up for himself.
Right.
He wasn't ready for the work. I told him, I said, I don't want to waste your time.
Yes,
And
that
I don't and I don't and I'm not here to be a counselor. I'm here to help you through the breakthrough that you
Right.
said you wanted. You said you wanted A, B, and C. So, and I want to say this, guys, when you are looking to grow, you need someone who's been there. I'm not saying it because I'm a coach. I'm saying it because you don't know what you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And
True.
just as Sparkle said, her mother didn't know finances. My mother, we moved 17 times between the age of 11 and 17. I lived everywhere. And it wasn't military. So I want to say it wasn't military.
Right.
So at the end of the day, if people look at my life, you would from those times you would ask, how did I get past it? Because I wasn't living in that life. I was living at where I wanted to be,
Right.
not where my circumstances were.
It wasn't
Sometimes
the
we get
reality.
trapped. Yeah, we get trapped in the everyday minutia as opposed to allowing that minutia to form us. Like
mm-hmm.
one of my books, my very first book name that just came out in November is called Forged in Fire from Ashes to Empowerment. And it's about being forged in the fire of life, forged by the different circumstances in your life and coming out on the other side because we did. I
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
don't care where you are. If you're talking to me right now, you've been past those things. Every time you go back and pull that memory to your present and say, this memory is why I am in the state I'm in, you're pulling from the past as opposed to learning from the past.
Yeah.
So, so in the book, that's why it says from ashes to empowerment, because
Yeah.
there's nuggets of empowerment on every chapter. At the end of every chapter, it gives a moment of empowerment, a moment of reflection. So I reflect on the things that were happening and come forward with the betterment of myself. How did I get to the better place of me?
Yes.
That's good. That's good.
Yes.
I'm gonna read this comment from hey Miss Brenda, author Brenda Hawkins Bailey. We are all given choices and chances to make a change. We need to stop playing the blame game and take the responsibility and be accountable for our own self. That right
Amen.
here,
Absolutely.
and
That is so true.
you have to be very tunnel vision minded when it comes to you. I listened to a reel last night, and I can't think of the gentleman's name right now, but he was saying that if my goal is to be at $100,000, I mean, $1 million, I don't need. Let me back it up. $100 million. I don't need you to say, well, you know what? I mean, if you don't hit the 25 million, that's still good
No,
because you make me settle for or bring me down to say that, okay, okay, I'm gonna just settle, go ahead and for the 25. And in everybody else's eyes, 25 million is something else. But if my drive and my goal and my vision is for 100 million, anything that tells me otherwise is not on
it's
path with
not.
me. He said, and I have to look at you as an enemy of what it is that I have set for myself. Sometimes, like Ms. Dennis said, I'm starting today. Yes, sometimes
You got to
Exactly.
you have
start.
to get
Today.
into a decision that come hell or high water, I'm going to achieve what it is that I need to achieve. I can't let you stand in the way of my greatness because you say it's
Yes,
okay,
ma'am.
doesn't make it okay for me.
Yeah.
25 may be good for
Absolutely.
you. It's not good for me.
Yeah.
And
And
when you
what's
get
good for
into
you
that
is good for
mindset,
you.
Right.
Thank you. You might be okay with that. That may be
You better
all
say
that you
that, sis.
need in
Everybody
life.
trying to put their stipulations on you. You know what you can't
Exactly.
do. Can I
Exactly.
Exactly.
give you an example, guys? Because this is lining up. I had an incident. I had to pray about it. Your girl, had a little bit of clapback at the gym, but somebody told me, I am not gonna get any names, but I was getting ready to do a certain weight, and I'm trying to get my balance. I'm trying to concentrate and stuff. And you come and talk about, oh, you look like you're a little unstable. Maybe it is too heavy. Too heavy. Why don't you go get another one? Well, you first of all, you didn't even give me a chance to attempt.
And why does it
As
matter to you
right,
anyways?
what is
Why are
it?
you
Because
even over here?
right. Well, first of all, it's my coach. You remember we
Uh-huh.
said we hires a coach.
Oh,
I have a coach. Now you're not. Now you're trying to make me stagnant because my mind says I could do it. Now you came over here. I had to stabilize a little bit. Sometimes in our life we got to stabilize a little bit.
Gotta
Mhm.
get
Then I get on
focused.
there and I got
yes.
Miss Tweety Bird in front of me, who is not the coach, is trying to ask me questions. How many am I on? Well, first of all, when I'm done is when I'm done. Now I look like I'm about to fall, y'all. Everybody running over me. I don't like attention.
Right.
Honey, I said, let me tell you something. When a woman is concentrating and she's focused, never interrupt her
Yeah.
because
Never
you can take her
interrupt
off
her.
course.
Oh,
You can take her
That
off
love
that's
that.
course.
Love
good right
that. Love
there.
that, Regina.
Never
Love
And
that.
then
That's a
interrupt
off
her.
balance.
whole gym.
You see what I'm saying? Off balance. I said, you never do that. I said, this is a mental thing. Everything was mental to the body.
Yeah.
Man, I got up off of that thing and I said, man, my goodness, Regina, you know what? There's a little bit more flesh you got to keep working on. But it showed me, even in those errors, you know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody limit you. I'm paying
Yeah.
you.
It's no different. You remember when your mama or grandmama, whoever had that cake in the oven, what you have to do? Sit your tail
Sit
down
down.
somewhere. Sit your tail down
Yeah,
somewhere.
that's
You ain't
right.
gonna run around this house and make my cake fall. So sit down somewhere. That same thing in your cake is in
Right.
the oven. You can't let everybody keep running around like let me give you a little input. Let me give you a little input. Let me give you an input. Stop trying to listen to everybody
Yeah.
and follow everybody and get focused on where God wants you to do. Because once you get focused and tuned in with Him, He will give you the next step and the next step and the next step and the next
Yep.
step. I'm not saying that people, coaches and mentors are not good because they're very helpful. That's why God created them to
Exactly.
help
Very
you along
helpful.
the way. But you have to have a mind that I'm stayed on Him and I'm stayed on this goal and go,
Say
here
it,
we come.
Sparkle.
High
Mine
waters.
locked and loaded, baby. Mine locked and loaded over here. Let me tell
Absolutely.
you,
Locked
Absolutely.
mine
and loaded.
locked and loaded.
Absolutely.
Don't stipulate me for no. I don't. And I'm not in competition with no money. Nobody. It's me versus me. Always.
Always, always.
Always.
There it is, Jenna. There
Period.
it is.
That,
Me
that
versus
is
me.
that's
I
good
mean,
right.
I say that about coaches and mentors. As being a coach, I tell people
Exactly.
my job isn't to tell you how far you can go. My job is to help you get to where you say you want to be, not to tell you how far you can go,
That is
or
it.
tell
That's
you
it.
when you my job as a coach. And when and just to give a little bit of background, make it very quick. I was in leadership for 25 years for a company. I
Mhm.
started my career off at $7 an hour. And when I left my job, my career a year and a half ago, I was making multiple six figures. And I've led teams from 25 to 500. So when I tell you that when I noticed, when I became a great leader, is the second I empowered my team to find success and told them to come see me when they needed some roadblocks to get out of their way.
Yeah.
That's what made me a great leader. I
Yep.
stopped being a manager the second that I said, "Hey guys, I trust you to set where you have to set up. This is the end goal. Let's get there.
Yep.
When
Exactly.
you need help, or when you're ready for, or you're trying to do something new, come to me with the problem and your version of the solution, and let's work together on making sure that solution is going to fit so you can get to where you want to be." That is the same thing I bring to my coaching. The same mentality. My job as a coach is to pull the best version of you out of you,
That's
Out of
it.
not
you.
to stifle any version of you. I
Right.
tell people I've never been in competition. I
Never.
people were telling me that, hey, you were doing so much better than this person.
I don't
Who's
care.
that other person? Because the only person I care about is when I go in my mirror and I look at
It's
that
me.
person and I have my affirmation. My affirmation is with Rachel L. Gary. My
There you
affirmation is
go.
where Rachel L. Gary wants to be. And what anyone else thinks about that,
Exactly.
is, as Lisa Nichols says, none of my business.
It's none of
None
your
of your
business.
business.
Don't care. Do not
Yeah.
care not one bit.
Yes, none of my business what anyone thinks on that. What my business is to be the best version of myself.
That's
Bring
it.
that best version every time.
You-
But the best version of me might not be the perfect version for someone else. And perfection is a myth anyway. What
yeah,
is perfection?
What
There
is
is no perfect.
it?
There
yeah,
is no
Striving. We
perfect.
gotta strive daily.
yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
It's
Rachel,
always
we are,
somebody that's
honey,
gonna be
out of
smarter than you.
time.
As always.
No, right? I was going to
As
say it came
always.
so quickly as it always does.
Yeah.
Let's let everybody know. Well, for one, go ahead and whatever you want to say to everybody before we sign off. Go ahead and share that, and then also how they can connect with you, purchase your book, tap into your coaching program, any of that, whatever you want to share.
So I'll start here. My name is Rachel L. Gary on every social media platform. If you want anything from my books, my courses, the free 7-day challenge that I have going on, or anything in between, as well as the radio show that I'm on, as well as a couple of podcasts I guest appear on weekly. You can go to sayiampossible.com, sayiampossible.com, because guys, the impossible does not exist.
It does not.
Everything that is in your life is possible the second you say I'm possible.
I'm
And
possible.
and,
I
and
love that.
as I say to the end of everything that I say, you always want to be up, out, and moving to the
That's it.
greatness
Up,
that
out,
lies in who?
up,
You.
out, and moving.
Boom. Look,
And
this
we
is
up,
this
out,
right
and
there.
moving
That
now.
is the message. Yes.
Up,
This is
Yes.
great.
out, and like that is so beautiful. Rachel, thank you so much for coming
Thank you, ladies,
on.
for having me. I
Thank you
feel
for
very
these
blessed and grateful.
nuggets. Yes, she will be back again because that's too much to run through in a little
Thank
quick little
you. We gotta
second.
break that down for sure.
So
I'm
Amazing.
always available. Always available.
but that's the beautiful thing. We all have a nugget that we can teach somebody else. Everybody has to be teachable. When
Yeah.
you become not teachable, you need to just say, God, take me now. Because everything in life is going to be a teaching lesson
Of
along the
course, because we
way.
don't know everything. But
Yes.
Exactly.
So, Rachel, I'm possible. I say I'm possible.
I'm
Girl,
possible.
thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We will
You're
see
welcome.
you,
Take care.
everybody, tomorrow
Yeah.
on Winning Wednesday. Go ahead and don't wait until tomorrow. Go ahead and win today. Don't wait on tomorrow.
That
Go
part.
ahead and win today and have a great day. I believe God. Do you believe God? We believe God. I believe God. I believe God. I believe God. I believe God. Have a blessed one. We love you.